Mete, let's start at the beginning. So Turkey already has a mutual defense guarantee through NATO, where you have the second largest army, as you mentioned. Take me inside Ankara on this decision. Why sign this? What was the need from Turkey's side?
It's about regional security architecture during the US, Israel, and Iran war, because there is no US protection at the Arabian Gulf, and some needs for each country, some security needs.
Right, welcome to Playbook Live from the Pakistan Playbook. I'm Dan Qayyum. On the 7th of August in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan and Turkey signed a defense agreement. If one is attacked, all three treat it as an attack on them. And most of the coverage since has come from Riyadh or Islamabad. And most of it treats the three countries as one bloc with one purpose. Turkey is the one nobody's really explained. It already has a defense agreement through NATO, where it has the second biggest army. Its real problems are in Syria with Israel, not with the Iranian missiles that worry Saudi Arabia. And its arms exports hit a record $10 billion last year. It has been close to Pakistan for decades. In May 2025, Turkish drones flew in the war with India. The Turkish government, Turkish prime minister backed Pakistan publicly and took India's anger without backing down. So why did Turkey sign this? What is the actual worry? What is it actually worried about? What does this give Turkey that NATO doesn't? Joining me from Istanbul is Mete Sohtaoğlu. He's a journalist and a researcher who covers foreign policy across the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. And he's a regular voice on Turkish television on Syria, Iran, and regional security. Mete, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Best wishes to Pakistan.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Mete, let's start at the beginning. So Turkey already has a mutual defense guarantee through NATO, where you have the second largest army, as you mentioned. Take me inside Ankara on this decision. Why sign this? What was the need from Turkey's side?
It's about regional security architecture during the US, Israel, and Iran war, because there is no US protection at the Arabian Gulf, and some needs for each country, some security needs. So I think we should talk about the new world order before Trump election or after Trump election. So these countries, for these countries, it's crucial to work and unite together for regional security architecture. By building these countries, Turkey gains a stronger multilateral framework for collective defenses, and also expanded defense industrial collaboration with Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, and of course deeper geopolitical leverage across the Middle East, in Asia, South Asia, without relying entirely on Western security structures like European Union or United States. These are the, I think, why Turkey signed this.
So do you think there's some theaters where Turkey doubts that NATO will show up?
No,
there needs to be a parallel
While
arrangement?
NATO provides a transatlantic deterrent, it's increasingly hobbled by internal friction, and there is no threat perceptions against the Middle East. NATO is dealing with the European side, and while the wars in already living in Middle East, but NATO dealing with the Ukraine or so-called Russia threat. So the Mecca pact gives Ankara a localized, agile arrangement tailored specifically to its immediate neighborhood, enabling direct strategic alignment with Muslim majority powers, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan.
Right.
So by Western policy stalls or European vetoes. So I think Turkey chose Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Also Pakistan chose Saudi Arabia and Turkey. They are great powers in their regions, by the way. For example, Pakistan is the growing power in Asia with army and social life. So defense industry, Saudi Arabia, yeah, they are rich and they have oil, but they need to protect the oil pipelines, ports, and other stations, electric or something else, energy stations. So Turkey, by the way, Pakistan reached meet Mediterranean Sea and north of Africa with the help of Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Also, Pakistan can reach the eastern side of Europe, Balkans, and also Arabian Gulf, and also Turkey. So the benefits of those three countries same security and no attack from the another country or neighborhood or something else.
And an attack on one will be treated as an attack on all three, basically, right? So, in terms of practicality, so because the text is not published yet, so we don't know what the actual conditions are. But let's say if Saudi Arabia comes under attack from Iran, or if Pakistan has a conflict with India, what does from a Turkish point of view, what do you understand that what has Turkey committed to as part of this agreement?
This like an joint exercises, bilateral military exercises, such as those between Turkey and Pakistan or Saudi Arabia, now become a large scale three-party exercises, featuring integrated air, land, sea, naval elements. Also, this is important intelligence sharing. A joint intelligence pool will be created to measure real-time data flow in areas such as early warning for these three countries, border security and counterterrorism, threat management, but the strength to air defenses systems, early warning radar networks. So maybe they will use
a lot of technical.
But they will use their each naval ports, military bases, air bases. So I think maybe a permanent or rotational basis. I don't know, but I think the Turkish drone teams maybe on a permanent or rotational basis, they will be deployed to Saudi Arabia or Pakistan. Maybe Pakistan naval forces, sea forces will rotational visits to Turkey and Saudi Arabia. But I think naval bases and port access for military. But the main focus is, I think, for the three countries, Gulf of Aden and Arabian Sea corridors will be the first point of these three countries, I think.
Right. Okay, brilliant. Yeah. When we get to let's talk about the Gaza Executive Board, for example. So we've got Hakan Fidan, who's the chair, who's on the board from the Turkish side, and it's chaired by Donald Trump. Turkey has now signed the pact, obviously. So a lot of analysts are saying this is aimed at Israel. How does Ankara hold both of that? On one side you've got obviously the Gaza Peace Board, and then is it aimed at Israel? Is there a threat from Israel that Turkey feels?
No. Participating in these diplomatic bodies like the Gaza board allows Turkey to maintain a seat at the table regarding humanitarian governance, reconstruction, Western-led peace initiatives, simultaneously signing a hard security deterrent pact with Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. Of course, growing anxieties, worries regarding racial containment, but keeping diplomatic engagement and strategic hedging running on parallel tracks. So Turkey is balancing the Asia and the West in the region for Turkish Republic.
I think that's very similar to what we've seen with the Saudi and Pakistan pact, and we saw that activated around March. And the joint decision was to continue on the diplomatic parallel. So just being on a defense pact doesn't automatically mean everybody takes up arms straight away. It means that basically you're working as a team together in tackling the issue, whether it's diplomatic engagement, hedging, as you said, or military action if needed. Again, for example, if Turkey needs or doesn't need, depending on what theater Turkey is operating in, then that decision comes then rather than have everything activated at once.
For example, I can give you an example. We know recent battle for Kashmir, and India is attacking Pakistan territories. But from now on, India will think twice before attacking Pakistan, because sometimes a flag, a foreign flag, or Saudi flag, or Turkish flag, when it appear in the Pakistan territories, India will think twice, because Pakistan is not alone from now on. So in every country, for example, who decided to attack Pakistan, I don't think so, because Pakistan is a very big army, very strong army. But we know the relationship between United States, India, and Israel. So we know that Israel is the big supporter of India, and India is the big supporter for Israel. So they think twice. It also includes India, Israel, or another country. But this is the main structure, architecture, and I think many countries will join. For example, first of all, Azerbaijan, maybe Qatar, and the other countries, for example, Bangladesh. I think these countries will join, because they want freedom and independence on their foreign relationships, and also armies.
And defense.
Independence, yes, yes. I must say, while we are talking, Israel or India or some countries aggressive about the pact, but it's I can really say that they are bored with the Western policies. They want to solve their problems in their regions without European side, without US side, Washington side. They want to choose the right path and right path, because the problems of the regions or Asian continent doesn't need Western fingers or US fingers. So they want to solve their problems in the regions with diplomatic side, with military side. So it's very important. So by the way, I think Washington didn't like this pact. So I don't know what will they do, but they want to test the triangle. For example, from Syria, from Lebanon, from Yemen. I think they want to test the pact, the Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Turkey pact, with this, I think, interventions.
Right. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I completely agree with that. The only with regards to the US, do you think Trump is on board with this? I mean, we're seeing a very large sort of split in diplomacy when it comes to diplomatic whether it's Israel with the Trump administration and the Bibi Netanyahu administration, right? We're seeing a bit of a split now. Do you think if that wasn't the case, then there would be a lot more opposition from the US side?
I think West countries and Washington viewed it through the lenses of balancing Israel, especially given rising political rhetoric between Ankara and Kudus. Turkish officials publicly framed the agreement as entirely defensive and non-specific. However, inside the circles in Ankara, the deterrent signaling toward any actor threatening Turkish strategic interest is fully intended. So no country, but everybody can see the situation. So it's a mix of both. But United States, they see, I think they see their view. Turkey is balancing Israel in the region.
Right. Okay, excellent. I'm going to move on to Iran briefly before we wind up. I'm obviously mindful of your time. Iran is obviously interesting because of what's going on in the region at the moment. Turkey's relationship with Iran is different again. Where does Ankara actually sit on Iran? Is Iran a concern for Ankara the way it is, let's say, for Riyadh?
Turkey balances a complex relationship with Tehran, as you told, competing for influence in Syria and the Caucasus and the Balkans, while maintaining robust economic and energy ties. But Ankara used its independent channels to prevent total escalation with Iran, viewing direct regional conflagration as destabilizing to its own borders. Uh, so Turkey balancing also Iran, but they are competing for influence in Syria, Caucasus, and Balkans, by the way, and the Middle East. So everywhere, I think Iran sees Turkey as rival because Turkey's foreign policy is independent, nothing to do with the United States or Western countries. So it's separate. But Iran should stop threatening countries around its neighborhood. So it's better.
Absolutely, and look at we'll look at what's happening on the Red Sea corridor. You've got the Houthi campaign, and they've hit Turkish shipping as well. So is maritime security? Do you think
Yes,
that's going to be a very
yes.
big part of
Uh,
the trilateral? Yeah.
the Red Sea side is more important for Turkey than Hormuz Strait because it's directly affecting Turkey. So securing maritime trade lanes and energy transit corridors, it's a critical economic priority for Ankara, aligning with Riyadh and Islamabad, enhances cooperative naval security, as I told you, and information sharing to mitigate disruptions caused by Houthis, I mean non-state actors in the Red Sea and surrounding waterways. So the first mission for Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Turkey, I think Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden is the first place that we will see their naval forces in a mission at that area.
Right. But do you think Turkey has appetite to get involved in Yemen? Or do you think it's just the maritime security is the more
Not
important
Yemen,
part?
but I'm expecting a land operation with the support of Europe, United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. But as you say, Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden corridor must be opened.
That's the part.
Yes, for those, I think Turkey will join a mission about the maritime lanes in Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. As before, you know that there are a lot of naval missions established by the European countries, but this time Pakistan naval forces, Saudi Arabia, and Turkish naval forces, sea forces, I think unite together in that area to open trade lanes to Red Sea
Right.
and Gulf of Aden.
Okay, excellent. Let's come to Pakistan for a second. So, because obviously this relationship goes back decades. I don't think it's well understood outside Pakistan and Turkey. I don't think the others get it. So I'd love to hear from you. How deep does this run from a Turkish point of view?
Pakistan serves as a core historic anchor for Turkish military diplomacy in South Asia. It's exceptionally deep, grounded in decades of military training, intelligence exchange, joint exercises, and defensive industrial cooperation. So I think they will improve their relationship at missiles and how can I say defense industrial cooperation firstly.
That's right.
But after that, the economic ties I think will grow between these two countries and also Saudi Arabia. So Pakistan more also strong country, we will become a stronger country. Most of the Turkish people also very happy to see Pakistan flag near the Turkish flag. They are our brothers. We love also Pakistan. So we are very happy to see
Amazing.
Pakistan flag near the Turkish flag. So whenever our brothers need help, yes, we will be.
Thank you. And you know, with regards to, you mentioned the defense industrial production. I think there's about 200 Pakistani engineers working in the Khan project in
Yes,
Turkey as well, right?
yes.
Excellent.
Of course, the
Okay.
Pakistan engineering is famous in the world because they have very well-known engineers. So we are very happy to host those
Amazing.
engineers because not construct a building. They are very good at aerospace, nuclear, missile technology, industrial graphic art. They are very good at their work. So I think they will more effectiveness. They're very more effective in the Turkish military hardware while reinforcing bilateral solidarity in Turkey and Pakistan. So the Pakistani engineers, I think, will arrive again. The next batch will arrive in Turkey, and Turkish students or engineers, I think, will go to Islamabad or another city to work with the Pakistan officials or private companies. So we are more together. We have no borders. I think
Yeah.
Pakistan and Turkish relationship also the nations will unite together more than before.
And you know, as you said, in terms of the defense equipment and the drones, we saw that with the Chinese equipment as well that was used in the theater last May to amazing effect. And you know, we had the same with the Turkish equipment that Pakistan was able to fall back on. What do you think Turkey learned? You know, because it's always good to have live battle tested sort of tag on the equipment that you have, and China got that, and I think Turkey has that as well with Pakistan now.
I don't think so. Turkey will join China to improve its defense industry because Turkey is a NATO country, so it has standards for NATO to sell or to buy defensive or military equipment.
Right.
I think Pakistan will join Turkey. Turkey will join to Pakistan, produce mutual military hardware because
Yeah.
also Pakistan is seeking for strategic independence, by the way, like Turkey. So yeah, it's combat proven for Chinese fighter jets during the India attacks. But I think it's more very useful for Pakistan to produce some drones or unmanned fighter jets with Turkey.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's for more useful for Pakistan because they won't need another country for buying or selling. So it's very good. It will be very good for Pakistan. So think that Pakistan is producing their military hardware in the country. It's a better way. No need for another
Absolutely.
countries, no threats like that. So it's very useful for both sides. And also, I think I know that Pakistan engineering in space is very good. So they will collaborate at this space. I mean that military satellite or satellites with laser weapons. So it's very open area for the Pakistan and Turkey. So they engineers while they engineers come together, I think they will they will be work on space weapons. So it's very near for Pakistan and Turkey. So drones is unmanned air vehicles are that's it for the wars. But Pakistan and Turkey will seek together at space. This is more important now. If you
Absolutely.
yes, if you're in space, you're seeing everything, and you can, for example, intercept a missile from the space, a ballistic missile or hypersonic missile, doesn't matter. So space is the first issue for Pakistan and Turkey.
Mete, there are people in Ankara and obviously outside who are criticizing this pact, saying this is not good for Turkey. What is the what is the strongest thing that you've heard about that argument, and what are your thoughts on it?
And some of them think that Pakistan is far away and Saudi Arabia is far away from here. So why will we send soldiers to defend them? But it doesn't mean that, for example, 1,000 troops will go to Islamabad and will stay there. No, that's not. But I expect in a short time, Turkish drone teams, if Islamabad needed, they will join the Pakistan military. If needed, they will go to Saudi Arabia. For example, Saudi Arabia can send Pakistan air defense systems. That's it. It's an, how can I say, Cold War era discussions, but it's not the time we are living in. It's an old thought, so we are not in a normal days. So I think we should change our minds for recent days. So if needed, Turkey will join Pakistan if needed. Saudi Arabia also, by the way, also Saudi Arabia and Pakistan will join to Turkish defense. So
and that's why it's significant.
yes, for last 5 years, a lot of wars we are seeing. It started with Syria, and now we are talking recent Iran war, and I don't know why, but we will talk next week. So the defense is very important. So I think we shouldn't talk the language with Cold War era sentences. Now 2026, everything is changed. Every country is changed. Turkey is not the same country at the 1990s. Pakistan also. 2026, we are talking about robots, space. So everything is changing. So it's very useful. The countries unite together at the new world order. It's very important. It's very, very important. Not about the military. You are needing energy sources for the population, for the nations, for food, for medicine. So the gates and the roads must be open to your country. So you should open there, not in your border. So it's I think, a good relationship, but I don't know why they are opposing it. I can say Cold War era time sentences and thoughts, but they are dead. We are not talking about the Cold War era. There is no Soviet Republic now. Think that. So everything is changing. So we should talk with the new sentences, with the new whole. I think it's better for the region and the.
Amazing. Thank you so much. There's just one more question, and then I think we can let you go for this one. And this is again, we're going back to May last year. Because of the way the war panned out, there was a lot of equipment shot down belonging to India from the sky, and there's been a lot of embarrassment on the Indian side. And one of the things that I've read is a lot of Indian commentators are saying that we were at war with three countries, not just one. They were saying that we were at war with Pakistan, supported by China and Turkey. Um, how do you see the relationship between Turkey and India at the moment? Is it structurally damaged, or is it recoverable? Is it being recovered? What's happening there?
It's called because we know that I know that, for example, India is supporting Israel in the Gaza war. So, of course, Turkish people and the other countries are very uh, upset and very angry to India. And also, there is a problem in the India. They're repressing and to Muslims. They're arresting and bad behaviors. We are seeing against bad behaviors about
Yeah.
Muslims. So that's the main problem. But they're nationalist and they are threatening every country like Turkey, like Pakistan, the other countries. They're very nationalist. So nationalism brings India not hope, not happiness,
Hmm.
always war, 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 war. Uh, so I think when the Modi uh,
Hmm.
lose the elections, I think India will be normal because always Pakistan is punishing India when they attack. We see at those last years. So I think India should stop this aggression against Pakistan or Turkey. So of course you can say that oh India and Turkey it's far away, but we know that Indian trolls on social media in every
Hmm.
issue they're attacking Turkey, Turkish politicians, Turkish army. Also I know that in their language they're attacking Pakistan soldiers, Pakistan politicians. So they should stop. There's a new world, so they must respect to this pact, Mecca pact, and I think they should improve their relationship between these countries. So Turkey and India relationship recent situation is called. I don't think there will be no diplomatic meeting or something else. That's the truth. Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey united for defense collaboration. So if India think bad about Pakistan, I should say India think twice. That's it. That's the truth.
Hmm.
That's the current situation.
Hmm.
So what can we do? If you shake hands with happiness and respect. So every country you shake your hand with respect and happiness. But if you don't,
Hmm.
so military talks. That
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Look, there's a lot of tough questions being asked in Delhi at the moment about, especially the past 1 year of their diplomatic isolation, self-inflicted, because the way they've, gone about, especially with Operation Sindoor and the aftermath, it's a strange time for a country like India when your two biggest partners are Israel and Afghanistan. So, unfortunate, but hopefully there are sensible people on both sides and they will see what needs to be done. But thank you so much, Mete. Pleasure having you on the show, and we will probably do this again in a few weeks because this is one track that we want to keep an eye on, especially with regards to Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Pakistan. The Turkey would be one. I think Turkey is sorry, Egypt could be another one that could possibly join the pact. But yeah, thank you so much. Pleasure having you on the show.
thank you, but so
And
far I don't think Egypt will join in a short time because their relationship between Saudi Arabia and China, and also Egypt is under pressure from the economic ties to United States. But midterm or in the other years, for next years, I think Egypt will uh, uh,
Mhm.
join the pact.
Amazing, amazing. That's very good insight. This could serve as something that's a building block sort of thing. As we go on, as you said, Qatar, there could be Azerbaijan, there could be maybe next year Egypt. This could be something, that grows. And in a year's time, we could be looking at something much bigger than what it seems like
Yeah,
today.
and maybe Egypt will be a monitor and not officially join, but Egypt can deploy forces or can make a collaboration with Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia as a monitor. That's the option. That's the one option. There are many options.
Right. Mete, thank you again. That was really useful. And I think the view from Ankara is the part most people covering this story have missed. And this is what we've tried to,
Thank
obviously inform them on. Thank you. Thank you so much. And pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you again, Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.